was reworking some of the way that I had implemented the cogen so that I could actually start trying to add support for WebAssembly and also address some other issues at the same time. So I'm just about done with that now. There's still a few kinks to work out there. And now that I'm kind of wrapping things up this week, I'm hoping that I can just get that off my plate and be able to push a new release with that stuff. The big thing, though, that I'm hoping that we can address in the near term with that is fixing some of the compilation things that were getting in the way with OTP itself. So there's some build problems there that were getting awkward to fix with the way that lowering was working previously. Where I would fix one thing, but something else would crop up. So this refactoring kind of deals with that as well. But yeah, that's kind of where things sit as of right now. I think if we haven't already, we probably want to do the upgrade to the latest Rust. I don't know if Luke, you had started working on that or not. Yeah, so that if we can get both of those knocked out, then I think we'd be ready for a new release here shortly.
Awesome. Hans?
Yeah, I have been trying. I had to refactor the binary part of the pattern compilation pipeline a little bit due to how I previously was handling tails in patterns and the intermediate representation for patterns. In order to compile the sort of structural patterns I need to do in order to do the binary generator properly. But I think that's mostly done now. So then I need to do some more testing on it, and I need to make sure that everything has spans. This binary generator story turned out to be bigger than I expected, but yeah, I think I'm mostly done with it now, through the worst part at least. It's really, really quite annoying that such like a small niche part of the language that most people probably never use is like, yeah, it's like different semantics from everything else.
Yeah, for sure. So is that gonna, I'm guessing that's gonna require some changes to the way that gets lowered?
No, not at all. It's going to be identical for it's from like the front end to the pattern IR to like the pattern compilation pass.
Got it.
That whole pipeline that sort of changed a bit, but it should produce the same output and more efficient output in some cases.
Awesome.
But nothing that should require changes. It's the same primitives on the output.
Okay, cool.
And Luke?
I have gotten some on the Rust upgrade. So the bug that like the community keeps reporting, weirdly, it's not about alloc-ref at all. What is that upstream took away the APIs that we're using in the Arena alloc we copied from the compiler. So I just updated to the new version that they're using because like they took away some APIs from RawVec and they actually moved to Box got the ability to do some stuff they were doing in RawVec, so like RawVec's API got taken away, and so I just updated to theirs. But I didn't pull in the iterator support because I don't think we need it. But pretty much we're just synced back to them. Obviously, Paul, you can when I pushed up, you can comment if like I didn't know what you actually changed. I didn't try to figure out which one you had copied from. I just like this makes sense because it was about the same code we had.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm working on the switch from alloc-ref to allocator. Right now I'm doing the Unix one. It's been kind of slow because I did an update to my IntelliJ Elixir plugin, and I somehow am able to, I broke it in interesting ways, so I've also been doing that at night. I somehow am able to generate an offset that is past the end of the file, even though I'm using a Elixir generator, so I don't know how that's possible. But I need to now try to figure out why that's happening.
Is there like APIs for resizing boxed arrays now?
I don't know if it's for resizing, but it's the RawVec reserve in place is what like everyone in the community was seeing, and that's just gone. And instead, they're using like box with a slice, like a box slice or something is the
Yeah,
I
like
forget
a
what-
box with a
Mhm.
sliced array inside, or like
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
unstable stuff. It's still unstable, like the same way Ravec is. They just took
Yeah.
away the
So
old API
is
because it was
there
unstable.
like utilities now for like doing realix on that and making it bigger and smaller?
I don't think that's what they changed. No.
Okay.
Sounds to
Because,
me like they didn't want to have the semantics of a vec with.
Oh no, they still use Vec. That's the weird part. Like they use normal Vec still. They just don't use raw Vec. It's weird.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about specifically with the arena stuff, right?
Well,
Because the whole like resizing of the arena thing was kind of awkward because you can't move the contents of the arena, right? You
Mhm.
can have arbitrary pointers in there. So I'm guessing that a box slice works a little bit cleaner with that semantics wise, because you could probably pin that to get the type safety around it.
yeah. One of the nice things with the allocator that they did add up is that non-null of a slice, you can now ask for the length. Like length on non-null passes to the slice if it's a non-null of a slice, which was the thing they added when they added the allocator.
That's convenient.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
hopefully,
I guess that's what
I'll be able to
happens when we hang behind for a while.
yeah, hopefully I'll be able to get it this week, but I don't know. Depends how much the my plugin bugs affect, since it is screwing up my client work right now.
You
Since I
somehow
broke my own
always
editor.
manage to break stuff, Luke.
Yeah.
Just you're like the natural QA engineer.
Well, the thing is, the reason why I didn't release is someone from the community did a thing where like they implemented the EAP, is it EAP 84, EAP 48, the one where like you can get the docs just from a beam, and it was
Mhm.
awesome. Like I have docs now, and it was so great. I'm like, oh, I have to do this, and then I fixed other bugs, and that partially broke it because they used the stuff for the decompiler, and it didn't like just little edge things of like forgetting to escape interpolation inside of the docs, because like the docs aren't escaped because they think it's just going to be markdown, but like when you print it out as code in a decompiler, you have to re-escape it, so it's parsable code, and like it's broken a lot of stuff. It looks nice when it works though, because like you just hover over and you get docs for everything from the center library. It's really nice. But
That's actually
Yeah,
something I
sure.
wondered about. The docs in Elixir, they're in the compiled runtime, right?
if it's new
Yeah.
enough and you have a docs chunk, if it's old enough and it doesn't have a docs chunk, then no.
And are we handling that in some way to strip that out?
We don't do beam
I mean,
style.
Yeah, we don't beam
Yeah.
style, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
But yeah, the doc stuff is weird just because it's actually in as markdown, and like the function signatures are like pre-rendered, because of course they don't want to have AST or quoted form, so it's a little bit. The docs format is much more cross language than the way debug I is. Like there's no conversion; it just is the right way right away, and so that's a little bit
Yeah.
weird, but it won't affect us.
Okay. All right. Seems that we're all set. Thank you, everybody.
Sounds
Bye.
good. Guess we'll talk later.